Former President Trump is expected to tell Republican donors on Saturday that a Republican will win back the U.S. legislature in the 2022 midterms and the White House in 2024. The former president is expected to make the remarks during the keynote address at the Republican National Committee's RNC Donor Summit in Florida, according to a draft copy of his speech obtained by multiple news outlets. The closed-door event mostly took place at the Four Seasons Resort in Palm Beach. However, guests were transported to Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort to hear him speak. We are gathered tonight to talk about the future of the Republican Party and what we must do to set our candidates on a course to victory, Trump is expected to say, according to remarks obtained by the Associated Press. I stand before you this evening, filled with confidence that in 2022, we are going to take back the House and we are going to reclaim the Senate. And then in 2024, a Republican candidate is going to win the White House. Trump is also expected to take aim at President Biden, slamming his 2020 election opponent for not addressing Congress within his first few weeks in office. That was really weird. Usually a president, a newly minted one, will give a speech to the joint session of Congress. I know that Trump did that during his first month. If I remember, that's where the widow of the first military member that died during Trump's presidency was, and people were like saying that he was using her as a prop or something. With an agenda this unpopular, it is no wonder that Joe Biden is the first new president in modern times not to address a joint session of Congress within his first few weeks. Trump's speech reads according to CNN. I hate that so much. He really acts like everything he did was, or the majority of things he did were so highly sought after and wanted. And the way he makes it sound as if Biden was going to give this speech before this joint session of Congress, and the members of Congress were going to start throwing things at him and booing. Trump is also expected to tell donors that the Republican Party will be able to leverage immigration and the Biden administration's handling of the issue to win back the House, Senate, and the White House. Illegal border crossings are now higher than at any point since 2006. Fox News reported Trump's prepared remarks read, on this issue alone, we can win the House, the Senate, and the White House. So man, there's so much stuff I want to say about this. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. We don't need to read the rest. But I do believe he's telling the truth about Republicans planning to use immigration against Democrats. But my thing with that is, God, what's a good way of saying it? If it's such an issue that people want to see, quote unquote, resolved, why did they lose the last election? Like, I remember the 2018 midterm where Trump was talking about the migrant caravan. And then what happened? He lost the House. He got 2 or 3 more seats in the Senate. And then you never heard about the caravan again. But when I make these videos, there's always this misconception by his supporters that I'm so anti-him that I apparently, have like some high opinion of the Democrats. I fully believe the Republicans could take back both the House and Senate next year and the White House in 2024. But that's not because I think they're these master campaigners. I think the Democrats, by and large, are a bunch of idiots. You guys have a president who has hundreds of thousands of people die of this virus under his watch, and you find a way to just by the skin of your teeth get the Senate and almost lose the House. So if they couldn't even beat him with regard to the number of Congress seats, in a circumstance like that, I'm fully convinced that once he goes out and starts saying this person is pro open borders and this person, is weak on this, I have no doubt he could convince and sway people to not vote for a whole bunch of Democrats and get them kicked out. Now, as far as 2024 is concerned, I'm more, because again, we don't know for sure if Biden is going to run again. Again, that's what makes me say, yeah, they might be able to get that as well. I just hate having to agree with him on this because it's not going to get any better with the Republicans in control. But I can't defend the Democrats. They keep showing that all they know how to do is lose. Even when they had poll after poll showing that Biden was smashing Trump, he still just barely won by the skin of his teeth. So they either barely win, so like if they win, it's under expectations, or they lose. So when he makes these comments, even if I think he's goofy in like the way he phrases it and some of the arguments he makes, I'm compelled to agree with him because the Democrats are that bad.